Good morning students. I Professor Dhanashri Bhimraj Prawar from Vishwabharati Academies College of Engineering Ahmednagar. From today we are starting lecture series for subject Engineering Mechanics. In that today's topic is resolution and composition of forces. After successful completion of this topic, students should have to determine resultant of various force systems. Okay. So first topic is Introduction to Engineering Mechanics. So basic question arises each and every mind is that what is mechanics? Mechanics is study of forces that act on bodies and resultant motion that those bodies experiences. So in short, force is responsible for motion of body or changing motion of body. Engineering mechanics is a most important main branch of engineering which is used in each and every branch of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, aeronautical engineering and aerospace engineering. During study of engineering mechanics, we use various type of standard principles. So first is principle of statics. Principle of statics consists of three main laws which are given by Newton. So Newton's first law, it states that an object at rest remains at rest condition or if in motion remains in motion at a constant velocity unless acted on by next external force. Means the initial condition of body will unchanged if we not use any external force. To change the initial motion of body, we need to apply some external force. Next is principle of statics, that is Newton's second law. It states that acceleration of an object is directly related to net force and inversely related to its mass. By using mathematical formula, we can write it as F is equal to ma, where F is force, m is mass and a is acceleration. This law states that the net force is directly proportional to acceleration and is inversely proportional to mass. Means if the mass of body will increase, the force required to change the motion of body will be increased. Next, Newton's third law. It states that for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. The various types of aeroplanes, aerospace instruments are designed by using this law. This law basically in short states that for every action there is some external and imaginary force which will be acting in opposite direction is always be there. The forces of action and reaction between interacting bodies are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, but they must be collinear. So these three basic things must kept in mind that for action, if we have to apply reaction, the both forces must be collinear, having equal magnitude, and they must be applied in opposite direction. So next concept is force. So force is nothing but push or pull type. The force is an external agent capable of changing state of rest or motion of particular body. The SI unit of force can be taken as Newton. In diagram, the force is denoted by using blue sign. The magnitude of force is 50 Newton. The direction of this force is denoted by using some angle with respect to some reference axis. Here the horizontal plane is taken as a reference. So the angle or direction of resultant force having 50 Newton magnitude is 25 degree. Next topic is effect of force. If we apply any force on any body, the body will show the number of effects. The force can make a body that is at the rest to move. It can stop a moving body or slow it down. It can accelerate the speed of moving body. It can also change the direction of moving body along with its shape and size. In short, the force is responsible for changing motion of body, changing initial state of body. It is also responsible for changing speed of body and it also responsible for changing shape and size of body. Next part is force system. So basically in engineering mechanics there are two type of main force system, that is coplanar force system and non-coplanar force system. If forces acting on body are in a single plane, then this system is called as a coplanar force system. If forces acting on the body are acting in different plane, then such a system is called as a non-coplanar force system. Coplanar force system is again subclassified into four types, that is collinear, parallel, non-concurrent and concurrent force system. In coplanar force system, if forces acting on body are acting in a single line or along the same line of action, then such a system is called as collinear coplanar force system. If forces acting on the body are parallel to each other and are in a single plane, then such a system is called as a coplanar parallel force system. If forces acting on the body are passing through a single point and are coplanar, then such a system is called as a coplanar concurrent force system. If forces acting on a body are not passing through a single point and also are not in a single plane, then such a system is called as a coplanar non-concurrent force system. Then non-coplanar force system is again subclassified into three classes, that is parallel, non-concurrent and concurrent. If forces acting on the body are parallel to each other and they are acting in different plane, then such a system is called as a non-coplanar parallel force system. If forces acting on body are concurrent and acting in different plane, then such a system is called as non-coplanar concurrent force system. If forces acting body are not passing through a single force and are acting in different planes, then such a system is called as non-coplanar non-concurrent force system. Okay, so next main topic is methods to calculate resultant. So first thing, what is a resultant? So resultant is nothing but the king of force system, that is the single force which is applied on the body by replacing the force system which is acting on that body initially. The resultant of particular force system and this particular force system will show the same effect on body. So total number of forces acting on body will be replaced or can be replaced by a single force which is called as a resultant. Resultant can be found out by using basically three methods, that is parallelogram law, triangle law, resolution and composition of forces. When force system or forces acting on the body having only two forces, then to find out the value of resultant, parallelogram law can be used. Similarly, if the number of forces acting on body are only two, in this case also triangle law can be used. So parallelogram law and triangle law can be used when force system consists of only two forces and we have to find out resultant of this force system. If the body consists of the number of forces or force system consists of number of forces more than two forces and we have to find out the resultant force, then resolution and composition of forces method can be used. So first law is law of parallelogram. If two forces acting at a point are represented in magnitude and direction by two sides of parallelogram drawn from one of its angular points, the resultant is represented both in magnitude and direction by diagonal of parallelogram passing through that angular point. So, in short, this law states that if two forces are represented in magnitude and direction by sides of parallelogram, then the resultant of these two forces can be represented by using diagonal of this particular parallelogram. So mathematically we can use the formula as r square is equal to p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta, where theta is angle between two forces and alpha is angle made by resultant force with second force. Mathematically, we can also prove this law